Hello, you're welcome to FinInvest Niger. My name is Tom Princewill. I'm a certified investment and security specialist, and I've been investing for the past 2 decades. In the course of this presentation, I would like to highlight the most important step you could take as an investor before you bring in a given stock into your investment portfolio. And that particular step or procedure is known as fundamental analysis, where you get to analyze companies' fundamental to determine their suitability or its suitability for your portfolio. So in this case, we want to look at the fundamental analysis of Fidson Healthcare Plc. Fidson is a pharmaceutical company in the NGX, and I would like to analyze its fundamentals so that at the end of the day, we'll be able to determine whether you should or should not buy this particular stock. Now, let's start with the company's revenue, sales, turnover is all the same. They're all the same thing. Just, a preference of a nomenclature. So in the full year 2025, the company made a turnover of 119.061 billion naira, 119.061 billion naira, as against 84.189 billion naira, as against 84.189 billion naira in the full year 2024. You could discover that there is an increase of about 40 billion naira between the year 2024 and 2025. There is a tremendous increase, and that is quite exciting. It's quite encouraging. We now come to the gross profits of the company. The company Fidson generated 49.1 0.146 billion naira in gross profit, 49.146 billion naira in gross profits, compared to 35.104 billion naira in the full year 2024. So you could observe a difference of about 9 billion naira, between the figure for the full year 2024 and the figure for the full year 2025. So we now want to consider the company's operating profits. The operating profit here for the year 2025, was 20.849 billion, 20.849 billion. And then for the year 2024, the figure, the operating figure, the operating profit here, was some 13.134 billion. So there is a movement from 14.134 billion to about 21 billion naira. That's an increase of about 7 billion naira. So you could observe, increments in the parameters we've considered so far. We now want to look at the company's profit before tax. For the before tax figure, the company made 13.892 billion naira, 13.892 billion naira, as against 7.700 billion naira, 13.892 billion naira, as against 7.700 billion naira in the year 2024. And so you could observe this approximately 8 billion, this approximately 14 billion. So there is that particular increment of about 6 billion naira. Now, let us observe the profit after tax as well. For the profit after tax, the company made 9.308 billion, 9.380 billion, as against 5.779 billion. So this is approximately 6 billion, and this 9 billion. There is that increment of about 3 billion naira between these figures. Now, we come to the most important aspect of this analysis, and that is the earnings per share. All right. These figures we've highlighted so far are very important. These BB figures are very important, but the most important figure in this particular table is these smaller ones you are seeing so below, and they are known as the earnings per share. All right, it is you arrive at this particular value by dividing the company's after tax profit by the number of shares outstanding. We'll come to that later. And so you could observe that there was an increment in the earnings per share, in the sense that the earnings per share grew from 2 naira 52 kobo to 3 naira 88 kobo, from 2 naira 52 kobo to 3 naira 88 kobo. So there's an increment of above 1 naira. So the increment here is really commendable, because this is what actually governs the movement of share prices, this particular value. And this is what equally regulates the level or amount of dividends the company pays out. It is all a function of how big or how small the company's earning per share is. So we are through with this segment of our analysis. This segment is called the profit and loss statements. All right. We now want to go to the other section of the analysis, and this is representing a bare bone, skeletal, summarized version of the balance sheet as well as the cash flow statements. So in this case, let's start with the cash flow statements. The company has a cash at hand, or cash in the bank, as the case may be, of 4.70 billion. 4.7 billion naira is the cash, a position of this company. It means that the company could buy back shares if they so wish. Not only that, the company can embark on, projects, or tackle emergency expenditure without relying on expensive borrowing from the banks. So the cash position here is commendable. The company made a profit of 9 billion naira with a cash position of approximately 5 billion naira. That's quite commendable. We now come to the company's equity or shareholder fund. The equity here is simply a subtraction of the company's total assets minus its total liabilities. Once you subtract those values, you will arrive at the equity or the shareholders fund. So in this case, the value here is 30.78 billion naira. That shows that the company's balance sheet is actually strong. It has a strong balance sheet, as is indicated in the level of cash it has, after deducting the outstanding liabilities from its assets. We now look at the company's price here is 73 naira. All right, and then the shares outstanding is 2.29 billion. This is the share outstanding, 2.29 billion, and then the market capitalization is given as 167.5 billion naira. 167.5 billion naira. And how do we arrive at this particular value? Is by simply multiplying, the company share price, which is at 73 naira, by the shares outstanding, which is 2.29 billion. That will give you the market cap. The market cap here indicates, it tells you about the size of the company, how big or how small the company is, as the case may be. So in this particular case, this is a fairly big company. All right, it has almost about 170 billion naira in as market capitalization. And so if you want to buy the entire company, if you could raise this particular money, you could buy the whole company in actual sense. And so you want to look at a very important figure here, and that's the PE ratio. The PE ratio is essentially the price of the company, the company share price, divided by the the earnings per share. By the time you divide 73 by 3.88, that's 3 naira 88 kobo, you will arrive at 18 naira 81 kobo. This particular figure is telling you, how expensive or how cheap the company is. On its own, actually, you may not really be able to utilize it that much. You make comparison between this figure and the same figure for other companies in the same sector. You go to the healthcare sector and compare this PE ratio to other ones. That will determine whether the company is actually very expensive or not. It's a matter of comparison. And another significance of this is that it's telling you that you are paying 18 naira 81 kobo for each naira of earnings the company makes. it makes an earning of 1 naira. You are paying 18 naira 81 kobo for that particular earnings. This value is very, very important. As a value investor, you take it into deep consideration before you invest in a company. And so please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share this video to people in your network, so that we could reach out to a wider audience. My goal, my target is to reach out to about 1 million Nigerians, with this particular message about investing in the Nigerian stock market. And so, having done this, although the entire exercise here is somewhat academic in nature, it's for entertainment purpose, we still want to give it we still want to make a recommendation. So I will give a buy recommendation for this particular company, Fidson Healthcare PLC. So if you want to make it part of your portfolio, you could go ahead and do that. All right, part of your portfolio, not just a very large part per se. You could make it, maybe you could allocate maybe 10% or 5% of your overall portfolio to this particular stock. So that's all about Fidson Healthcare PLC. Please, if you want me to analyze any other company, you could indicate in the comment section. And if I deem it worthwhile, I will take my time to analyze the company for you, because without analysis, you cannot undertake meaningful investment. You don't just invest based on certain narratives. No, you invest based on the core figures that are indicated in the companies and financial statement. That's what really guides, that what should guide your investments, so as to be able to have something tangible to show for at the end of the day. Thank you very much for watching, and you could also consider other videos in the channel as well.